There are many skills that are necessary to function in today's world. One such key skill in our society is literacy. But what does literate mean? And what do we expect from a person who is literate? The word literate refers to a person who does not only read and write, but also understand and solve problems. Literate can also mean that a person is knowledgeable or well-versed. The power of literacy lies not just in the ability to read and write, but rather in a person's capacity to apply these skills to effectively connect, interpret, and discern the intricacies of the world in which they live. Why is it so important? Let's say, for example, the teacher's goal is to make sure that the students will understand the lesson taught in the classroom. Not everyone processes information and learning in a similar manner, so the teacher applies different learning strategies, such as watching films, listening to musical scores, or reading articles to communicate the lesson clearly. In this way, the students will easily understand the topic. If the subject is well understood, the students will more likely be interested in discovering more information about the lesson on their own. On the other hand, if the teacher fails to communicate the lesson effectively, the students will find it difficult to understand the topic being discussed, and this can result to misinformation or misinterpretation of what is being taught. How then can effective communication be achieved, and how information is transmitted? With or without modern technology, people communicate orally. The Filipino vendor and the foreigner are unable to understand each other because of the language barrier. Although speaking is not involved, their means of communication becomes effective once the message of each person wants to convey is clearly understood. Apart from oral communication, people also exchange messages or information through writing. For example, this Paleolithic painting of a bison, found in Altamira, Spain, it indicates that the prehistoric people who painted the animals on the cave were probably hunters and herders. This is one proof that even though the system of writing and alphabet was not yet invented, their thoughts and ideas were expressed through symbols and drawings. Here to discover many things because information is readily available in the World Wide Web, or simply web. This web allows users across the globe to navigate different websites and access information using internet. Now that we know what literacy is and its uses, let's know more about media literacy, information literacy, and technology literacy. As we discussed, it will help us not just identify these words, but importantly, to understand what those words mean. It will help us develop strong literacy skills. Media literacy. A century past, a variety of information can now be accessed not only by reading books, but also through the use of different forms of media and the technology that are on hand. The digital age has made it easy for anyone to create media. We don't always know who created something, why they made it, and whether it's credible. This makes media literacy tricky to learn and teach. Nonetheless, media literacy is the ability to access, analyze, evaluate, and create media. The word media refers to a different means of communication, such as television, radio, newspapers, magazines, and the internet. If you understand the complex messages from the aforementioned media, then you are media literate.
Created using Powtoon.